hold your hand on the desk or move your chair forward maybe to even kind of stabilize things.
That's fine.
You ready? What do you use social media for?
We use social media primarily for brand awareness and to share different media stories, to share both patient stories and employee staff stories, and to let people know about different events that may be going on at Regional Health.
Who runs your social media?
As it stands, we have several different marketing specialists that are all responsible for creating their own content depending on what their specialty is. So we actually have about 5 different people that contribute to our social media.
At what level of engagement would it be necessary to hire someone to run it for you?
Our level of engagement could vary greatly. As it stands, we run everything under the Regional Health umbrella, so everything is Regional Health, and we have one person that kind of oversees it, but we have 5 different hospitals and 14 different clinics, up to 52 different locations. And then we also have 350 doctors that could potentially have their own social media outlets. So as it stands, like I said, right now we have one person, but we could hire an entire team depending on how far we wanted to take that.
How do you respond to negative feedback on your social media channels?
We let people voice their negativity if they've had a bad experience or something like that. We try to take the conversation offline, whether it's a phone call or email or private message, to see if we can help them resolve their issue. Unless it's something, profane or anything like that, we allow the comments to stand and allow people to voice their frustrations.
Do you have a process for determining your target market?
We do. It largely depends on the goal and the campaign. So a campaign for plastic surgery would have a totally different demographic than maybe, I was going to say dermatology, but that would actually be pretty close to the same, than say maybe general surgery or heart surgery or something like that. So it would depend on the goal of the post or the ad campaign.
Has the rise of social media helped lower your marketing budget?
It has, mainly because social media marketing as it stands is pretty inexpensive compared to Google or larger search engine marketing. So we can reach a large number of people very cost effectively and very targeted through social media. So it has been helpful with keeping our ad spend down.
On average, how many hours a day or week do you devote to your social media efforts?
As I mentioned, we have several different people that all contribute. So I would say that collectively, hours-wise, all put together, probably 12 to 15 hours a week.
In general, has your business been affected in a positive or negative or neutral way when it comes to social media?
I think it can be both. As I mentioned earlier, we like to share the positive stories, and they get really great engagement. People love to see the different people in the community, especially in a smaller community like we are in Rapid City or out in the markets, Custer, Spearfish, Sturgis. Everybody kind of knows everybody, so people really like to see those people that they're interacting with in the neighborhood. But at the same time, there's different stories that happen that are negative regarding Regional Health, that people sort of jump on the bandwagon and it turns into a little bit of a witch hunt that we've been the victim of that too. So both directions for sure.
Which platforms are most useful to you, and do you see your business expanding into other platforms in the near future?
Right now, primarily we use Facebook, which I believe is a regional thing, and by regional I mean this geography. That's our primary platform, but we also use Instagram and Twitter and YouTube and LinkedIn, and we just use those as appropriate, again, depending on the goal of the particular post or campaign.
Do you actively try to engage your audience, or do you simply share content and allow the viewer to interpret the info?
We do engage, especially if someone asks a particular question. Um, we want to answer that, and we want to answer um, appropriately. Often, if someone asks a question, someone else will answer the question, and it might not be correct information. So, we want to make sure to control those conversations as much as we can with the appropriate information. If there's just general chatter going on, we just kind of let it happen unless it turns into something that we feel we need to intervene in.
Do you have a specific strategy you use in your social media activities, and do you see it being successful?
Yep, we definitely have a strategy, and again, it's just we do that as appropriate to the different goal, whether it's an event for the foundation, such as the duck race, or maybe a particular service line is offering something in particular. So yeah, we definitely have strategies around the demographics that we reach and the people that we touch with our messaging, and I would say it is effective.
Do you think you could benefit from hiring a social media manager to handle your social media presence?
Definitely, we do have a social media manager, and it does help us to keep a consistent voice and to make sure that the messaging that we're putting out into the community is relevant and is also consistent with maybe traditional media such as television, radio, billboards, things like that.
How important or useful is social media to your business?
I think it's very important and very useful. Again, it comes back to if you don't offer something for people to see and to interpret, then they're going to interpret their own stories about your company. A lot of people or a lot of businesses don't even have a website; they just have a social media presence. And a lot of people rely on what their friends say and what maybe the community at large, even if they don't know them, they rely on those opinions more than advertising, because advertising is very, people don't believe it. So the social word of mouth is super important.
Do you use analytical tools or methods for determining the effectiveness of your social media campaigns? If so, which ones?
We do. It's specific to the platform. So with Facebook, there's Insights, there's Twitter Analytics, and the different platforms that each platform offers. And then we also tie that into our Google Analytics for our website, so we can see what campaigns are generating the most clicks to the website and where potential conversions are happening.
If you were to hire a social media manager, what would you expect to pay them, and what would you expect of them?
Sure. And again, it's a little bit of a loaded question. As I mentioned earlier, we could potentially have up to 400 different channels or different platforms that we are managing. For now, we operate under the Regional Health umbrella exclusively. So myself, I am dedicated to the Regional Health social media. It would be easy to expand on, but again, it comes to the expectation. Are you expecting this person to create content? Are you expecting this person to, generate information? Are you expecting them to do more digital things than just, monitor a Facebook page? So it would depend on the level, of what you're looking for your business.
Well, I thank you for your time.
Sure.
You did a wonderful job.